So good morning, everyone. I guess the topic that I'm going to speak on is building sustainable supply chains. Okay, so very interesting topic to talk about, and something which is very close to us at Mahindra Logistics. So let's first understand the importance of sustainability. If we look at the recent Paris Climate Agreement change, right? So it was agreed that we limit the global warming to 1.5 degrees. Okay, over 1,000 companies globally, including us at Mahindra Group, have also decided to adhere to that and become net zero by 2050. All right, but when you look at logistics and actually transportation, it is one of the major contributor of carbon emissions, and that actually makes it very challenging for us to reach there. And if we look at transportation, which actually can grow up to 60% in terms of carbon emissions by 2050 if we do not do anything today. All right? And of course, a significant Indian dilemma is that how do we ensure that we provide affordable access while at the same time being carbon neutral, right? So I guess the next part is that the challenge that we face is from macro to micro, okay, which means that we all, organizations or even people, right, and different organizations want to do good, we want to be sustainable, we want to do the right thing. But when it goes down to the brass level, we all know that it becomes a little harder to achieve, right? And there are a lot of challenges. In fact, we did a survey like 2 to 3 years back with CII Institute of Logistics with over 500 organizations and leadership to understand the importance of sustainability in their businesses. Okay, and as you can see on the slide that a large part of these organizations believed and they were very vocal about their commitment in decarbonization, and almost 50% had even set the goals and targets to be carbon neutral by 2040, 2050. All right, but there was one larger concern among all the organizations, which was that there is no clarity in terms of data. Right? We don't know how to really measure this. So what gets measured gets done, okay? And that, I guess, is a big challenge in logistics industry because we really don't know what is the right way to and the perfect way to measure carbon emissions. Okay, so one way to look at it is that what if we all decide that let's not do anything at all, let's just sit in our places and chairs and something miracle will happen one day, right? And we will get a one fine day in 2040, 2050, and suddenly everything is sustainable, everything is green, right? But unfortunately, that's not the real world that we live in, and that's not going to happen. So we all have to then do something in order to ensure that we make supply chains sustainable, and all of us have to contribute in some way. Now, I think there are key challenges actually that impact the energy transition, okay? On the demand side, we have seen that there is a lot of increase in seasonal demands, and not really only because of e-commerce boom, but also because of the way we have festive seasons in India. Okay, few festivals actually drive a lot of demand, and now it has become omni-channel, especially after COVID. Okay, so hence it becomes extremely difficult to forecast demand and derive predictability. So, and also we live in the country where cost to serve is extremely critical and important, right? And hence it becomes extremely important to ensure that with the economies, we don't really get into the situation where we have to take a choice or make a choice, right, between being sustainable or cost efficient, right? And while, of course, it's extremely great to see how tier 2, tier 3 cities are growing, and we all actually want to focus on that. Ganesh also said, right, that we'll see how it is getting into the tier 2, tier 3 cities in India. But we know that there are certain challenges that we face currently, and we will have to work a lot harder in order to ensure that we make supply chains sustainable till the last mile of India. All right. On the supply side as well, there are challenges. The obvious, I guess the obvious thing is that we always think that if we want to go green, we go electric. Okay. But to be honest, it was great to see how technology will really impact global economy and India. But in India, technology is still evolving. So the challenge is that how do we really ensure that it's easy to make the transition with current technology, all right? That is one part. Second is that we have seen there are a lot of gaps and challenges still in infrastructure, whether it is electric charging stations, LAG filling stations. So how do we ensure that infrastructure plays a part so that it becomes easier, right, to drive sustainability in India? And actually, a lot of it, like I come from Mahindra Logistics, right? We are logistics solutions provider. Lot of companies actually outsource this to service providers now, and we face a lot of challenge in order to ensure and then drive premium, right, and ensure that the cost burden does not come to us. Of course, from demand side as well, it becomes difficult for them to take the cost burden because of other set of challenges. So the companies that we have been working with, okay, I guess they all believe and they all have set targets, goals for sustainability, but there are certain concerns, like in terms of how do we ensure business continuity, right? I guess that's one of the big concerns. How do we ensure that infrastructure supports the business and operations? How do we ensure that if we want to scale to electric or to other alternative fuels, okay, so how does infrastructure really support the operations? What if vehicle gets stranded somewhere in between the operations, right? And so all these are challenges, hence it becomes difficult sometimes, at least at the moment, right, to drive premium for getting green or being green. All right. So what I think, okay, of course, these are not the only ways to achieve it, but just some thoughts on what could be done. And we have started following this in Mahindra Logistics. One is that develop an integrated approach in terms of developing a clear baseline. So basically understand what the carbon emission, how much do you contribute to carbon emissions currently, and start from there and start measuring and see how can you reduce it, right, at your level, maybe in small parts and bits and pieces, but at least you have something to start from, okay? Adopt available technologies and accelerate to scale them, right? Technology plays a very important role, and technology gets obsolete very fast. So you have to be at it, you have to change technology, upgrade it, right? Establish clear and measurable programs and define your action plan in such a way as per the initiatives and goals so that you can track them regularly, okay? Redesign your supply chain with the customers, and it becomes extremely important, and we have done that in our last mile to a larger extent. And it becomes important because then both the parties own the success of that supply chain, right, or the operations. And last but not the least, of course, create win-win partnerships, not only with your customers, but also the business partners and associates that we work with, right? And extremely critical and important, an asset-light business model. Okay, so what we have done in MLL, I mean, of course, we still have our own set of challenges, but at least we have started this journey, right? And we have tried to build green logistics ecosystem. Now, in the center of the green logistics ecosystem, we have something called as emission analytics and advisory platform. Now, this platform basically enables our customers to get real-time visibility of carbon emissions, focusing on transportation, all right? So we have all our trucks currently on the platform that we run for different customers and industries. All right, we have currently 1,200 customers who are on board, who we have onboarded on the platform, so that it gives them visibility on the carbon emissions and enables them to take the decision of decarbonizing the supply chain, right? So I have a slide further. I'll just quickly move to other elements and initiatives that we have. We have also built 7 million square feet of solar-powered warehousing network across India. These facilities are grade A, platinum and LEED certified facilities, which we run for diverse industries. All right, and we are continuously working on expanding the network. And these are, of course, we provide customizable solutions to our customers across different industries. Then we have done some bit of work in low carbon mid-mile and long haul solutions as well, right? We launched an initiative called as Pro Trucking. which is basically an efficiently driven network for the customers. All right, and we redesign the supply chain for customers in order to optimize the operations. It is not electric, it is still ICE, but it is a lot better as compared to other vehicles because of the fuel that gets used is less as compared to other vehicles. All right, then we also have carbon neutral cross-border solutions that we run through our freight forwarding business, and also last mile delivery business, which is completely electric. So I spoke briefly about emissions analytics and advisory platform. I hope, Sham, I have some time still. All right, okay. So I was told that we have to stick to time, so I'm following the rules. Emissions and analytics advisory platform. As I mentioned, that this is one platform which has two parts. One is basically it gives customers visibility of the carbon emissions. It has a carbon calculator, and it also enables customers to see, okay, their carbon emissions. They can actually simulate and try different options by selecting different fleet, different fuel, or different vehicles, etc., to optimize the supply chain, and then see that how carbon emissions can be reduced. So it enables them to take the informed decisions by selecting these different options and simulating it. All right, so, I spoke about, sorry. Yeah, so we run the largest fleet of last mile, electric last mile delivery, right? We have 1,600 vehicles currently running in 24 cities. We have 3-wheelers as of now, but we are moving to 4-wheelers depending on the demand and how it is going forward. And this is one area where we have seen a lot of interest from customers. Bit easier to manage because there is an infrastructure for the last mile, right, as compared to the long haul and line haul, right? So this is picking up fast. And I spoke about multi-client warehousing network, which is solar powered. Now these are basically, these have sustainable architecture, all the operations. We follow a lot of circularity measures and a lot of energy efficient practices within our warehouses for customers. In fact, that when we have a discussion about our facilities with customers, this becomes one of the important point of discussion. Okay, what are the sustainability practices that we follow? Okay. And so we are in this journey, to be honest, and we are committed to be carbon neutral by 2040. I would say that, that we have just started the journey, and we are trying to accelerate our speed right in the journey, but there's a long way to go, of course, and we are working towards it. I would just, in the end, just say one line, okay, I guess. A brighter tomorrow begins with a better today, all right? And hence, I think all of us have to contribute in some way to make today better so that we can actually make our future better. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and I really thank CII for giving me this opportunity to be here. Thank you, guys.